Welcome back, you fiendish Factory Town fellows. It's Factory Town. It's me, Orbital Potato. That's right. Okay, so trains. Let's immediately hit the ground running and get our train system up and running. Thank you very much to everyone who made me aware of how trains work. And indeed, we need to give ourselves a couple of... Sure, I guess that looks kind of funky. We need to give ourselves a couple of minecarts to add on to the steam locomotive. I've also slightly adjusted the train station over here, so I was close. I was very, very close, but actually now we should be sorted. So this train station is going to touch the track on the way through, or the train is going to stop at the train stop, and it should just work like this. The train doesn't actually go into the train station; it just sort of skirts by it. Either way, we've created this little loop over here, which is a one-way loop. We've also got the silo over here, which is going to supply water, and we've got one of these storage thingamabobbers, which is loading fuel on the fuel loader. This is the one that's loading fuel. So we need to get this adjusted, get that adjusted, change this around a little bit. And I mean, look, this is not a perfect... It's not a perfect solution at this moment in time, but it's good enough. The train doesn't actually require that much fuel. And so we should just be able to let this, rock and roll. And hopefully we should see the number of planks that we have in the train station, yeah, just get completely decimated as they are all moved on to the minecarts and then whisked away to the other end of the track. I'm very, very happy with that, actually. Yeah, that looks really, really, really good. And the speed at which this is transported is high. It's very, 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 very quick, and I actually kind of dig it. Looks like there is ample clearance underneath this this massively large platform over here. Now, before the train gets into this area, I haven't actually reconfigured this area because I thought, you know, it would be a good opportunity for us to sort of just go over exactly what needs to be done over here. Now, it's pretty darn simple because at this moment in time, it's pretty darn simple, he says, as he wrecks a key part of the area. It's pretty easy. All we need to really do is make sure that we have like 3 output belts so that we're able to move the resources as quickly as we possibly can from the train station. The train station, by the way, has got a tremendously large storage area up here, you can see. So we should have no issues with that. We should have no issues getting all of the resources out as quickly as we need them to be out. There we go. We set up a nice little loop. We just grab a one-way signal, and then we put that right over there. So that is a direction-dependent bit of track. The train, I believe, searches ahead a little bit, so it searches ahead to the block in front of it, and the one-way block is going to say, hey, you can't come down this way, you're going to have to go to the train station. The train station is going to be stuck into unload mode. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And speaking of load mode and unload mode, we should just briefly head back over here and we should say hold until full so that we actually will not end up running the train unnecessarily and wasting a huge amount of fuel and water. Excellent. So it's literally that simple. The game is paused and hopefully we should see everything get unloaded as quickly as it needs to be unloaded. That is brilliant. And that is a much, 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 much quicker way of moving all of these resources around. Can I just say, I'm very, very happy with the way that that's worked out. I think that this is a good opportunity for us to... Oh, you twit, potato. You total twit. It's honestly a wonder that you've managed to come this far and still call yourself a video gamer. Honestly, that is ridiculous. Right, after deleting half of the belt in the known universe, and crucially, not the belt that I actually wanted to delete, I seem to have fixed the problems. Okay, excellent. Can never be too careful with the deletion tool. It really can get bad very, very quickly. Either way, that's now being cleaned up, and there is now no link. There is no link between the wood processing area and the plank production area and the sort of main technical area that we've got over here. Again, you know, we want to make sure that we're future-proof in this area. This is looking good. This is looking very, very good. I'm very, very happy with that rail system. Now, obviously, it's only a single track, which means that we can only run a single train down it at this moment in time. We're probably going to end up dueling this track at some point, and if we do that, then that will allow us to run multiple trains around the track. But that's not crucial at this moment in time, so I'm not going to worry about that altogether too much. Right, in the last episode, we turned off all of these grabbers here. I'm actually going to turn them back on so that we can stop stockpiling iron, as we do not need to stockpile iron anymore. There we go. Get them all turned back on. Hopefully, it should all be working. We are probably going to need to increase our forging speed at some point over the course of this episode, but that's not something that we really need to worry about now. Anyway, I'm just delighted that we've got the trains up and running. We could process the trains or the train loads further, i.e., we could stick the planks into a packager. That's definitely something that we could do. I think logs are a packable item. I don't actually know if that's the case, but you know, we could package stuff, but I don't really feel like that's super essential at this moment in time. So we're not gonna deal with that. That's absolutely not something that we need to deal with. This area, why is this so funky? It should not be funky. This area has consistently failed me, and I don't like it. We've got some proper metal belt, by the way, and we're going to see if we can try and upgrade that metal belt as and when, or upgrade to a metal belt as and when it becomes available, which is pretty darn nice. Ah, I see the inherent issue here. I see the inherent issue. We are occasionally splitting ointment onto this area. No matter. Let's get that rotated. Ditch that. And give me a bit over here. Also, thank you as ever to all of the fantastic comments that I got on the last episode. One of the comments was, does the wooden arch, because it doesn't have a base, how can I demonstrate this? The scaffold block is just a regular block, whereas the arch does not have any base. I do not believe that allows resources to pass underneath it in contrast to the scaffold block. So for example, if I was to put the scaffold block right over here, we would block the flow of resources. However, if I change that to a wooden arch, I was a way to say I don't believe that it actually does stop. Okay, well, turns out that I'm completely wrong and I've just disproven my entire theory. All right, turns out I should be using arches whenever I want to cross belt, as that is simply a fantastic way to sort things out. Okay, so it doesn't work when placed directly over the belt, but presumably you idiot potato. Presumably it'll work like that. Wow, that is a huge game changer, actually. Didn't even realize that was the case. Okay, I thought it was like a purely aesthetic difference, but you know what? Wowzers, I've learned my lesson. Oh boy, I've learned my lesson. Right, speaking of lessons learned, are we able to re-engage the machine shops again? This area, by the way, would have been so much more efficient if I'd known of the arch problem. But that's fine. You know, you live, you learn, you cry. Repeat. Hashtag relatable. Am I right? Anyway, okay, so that's good. Very, very happy with that. We need to see if we can try and increase our... our red coin... our red coin selling. Now, I did say that I wanted this train station... to see if we can try and take back the yellow... What am I talking about? The reinforced planks. Reinforced planks are actually pretty key. Pretty key to me making money, at least. Yeah. I wonder, if I put a train stop here, am I able to put this as a load? Presumably I will be able to reserve some of these storage items for reinforced planks. I ask because it would be really great if I could send reinforced planks back from the train station and perhaps use this as a staging ground. This would be pretty excellent if I could do that. Let's give this a little test here. Okay, so steam locomotive is going to drop the planks off at the train station, and then I would expect the planks to be immediately reloaded onto the train here. But we'll see if that's the case. So the carts are filled with planks at the moment. They should all be unloaded. It'll advance the next stop, and then it'll entirely reload. Wowzers. Okay, that is pretty darn brilliant, if I do say so myself. Okay, that gets a big thumbs up from me, because it means that we can actually use this train station as a staging point for deliveries to the general store, which would be tremendously powerful. Okay, let's change this around a little bit. Let's give ourselves a bit of space here, so that we actually have the ability to move things around as and when we please. Right. Delete that. Maybe shouldn't have deleted it. Could have maybe just moved it. That's fine. Right, anyway, we're just going to redo this ever so slightly. This is not going to be the main focus of the episode. Trust me, I don't want to faff around with rails for too long. Right, so... In fact, you know what? Potato, don't even do that. Don't even do that. Just continue straight up here. Around here. Back around there. And around there. It's literally that simple. You dingus. Just do it. Just do it just like that. Cool. Alright. And then what we're gonna need to grab is we're going to need to grab a rail. Is it a rail loader or is it a train stop? It's a train stop. Okay, well, we'll just copy it from over here. And we're gonna give ourselves an unloady train stop. And we're gonna give ourselves a loady train stop. But it actually needs to be rotated. There we go. This is going to be unload. This is going to be load. Excellent. Very, very happy with that. Hold until full is going to be turned on. Brilliant. And then what we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves a barn over... do we want to get ourselves another barn over here? I kind of feel like another barn over here is kind of pushing a little bit. But then again, at the same time, I really want to utilize... I really want to utilize the minecart in order to move resources into town. Yeah, so I feel like a barn over here is kind of the thing that I want to do. Okay, cool. Right, as the first order of business, let's see if we can move the direction that the planks are coming. So the planks now need to take a much shorter journey, coincidentally, right in there. That's fine too. Excellent. So the planks are going to be sorted. Brilliant. And then on the output, we're going to make sure that that is set to only reinforced planks. Probably a single belt is not going to suffice. But then again, it might be able to do what we need to do. But you'll never know. Right, this has worked horrifically, actually. Build a couple scaffold blocks. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We sort that out. That's excellent. Trees are growing over there. Is there any way that I could perhaps skirt over these trees? Because these barns are pretty entrenched. That's not to say that they can't be moved. They can definitely be moved. It just needs to be done with an element of care. Yeah, okay. I have no idea why I need to move the belts one by one. That's absolutely not required. Okay. That's fine. Excellent. And then do I want to do the same with this barn? I kind of do. Let's remove these resources here. The little bit of grain that's just chilling over there. Yeah, I want to move everything just to make sure that we don't end up accidentally janking a system. It's very important to me that we don't jank too hard. It's a top tip for you. Try not to jank too hard. Right. There we go. Looks very good. Very happy with that. Excellent. That goes there, and that goes there. Cool. Alright, so... now, we've got plenty of space to get a belt or two. I think 2 belts is probably adequate. 2 belts over to this area. The good news is that the silo can go here because we're gonna just have this silo connected on the general store route, so it shouldn't actually be too difficult to get that done. Yeah, pretty happy with that. In there like so, in there like so. What do you know? Excellent. Right, these grabbers don't have to have items specified. As I say, we may have to... okay, I mean, you did do that correctly, however... can't help but wonder if that was a little dicey there. Okay, that's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, silo. Let's get a silo right over here. Let's get a silo over here. This is a rail loader. That's not a satisfactory loader. We need a fuel loader. Excellent. Get to work. Thank you very much. Right, do we have a well anywhere nearby that I can copy? I'm sure we got a well somewhere. Do indeed. Right, will that just supply, or will that need to be... will that need to be moved around a little bit? It'll need to be moved around a little bit. It's fine. Cool. Okay, water. Now... You didn't stop there. Ah, yes. I know what the entire problem is here. I know what the entire problem is here. The entire problem is that we want to... we want to load only planks, and there's no way that we can do that at this moment in time unless we get some resources into here. That didn't actually end up working for some obscene reason. Try again. There we go. Right, wonderful. And then I want to apply item filter. We want to make sure that these are kept specifically for reinforced planks. Oh, no, 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 no. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. These grabbers only draw planks, I'm afraid. Sorry, video game. That's my bad. I just keep on accidentally adding logic links. Right. There we go. Okay, pick up item, pick up item, pick up item. Right, so... Will that work? I think, you know, I think we're gonna have a little bit of a challenge here. So we're unloading the planks, which is great and all, but we're just gonna take them right back. We're gonna take them right back, which is very problematic, actually. Very, very problematic. We need to ditch some of these planks, I think. Okay, ditch some of them in the hope that we will be able to sort out in the short term our plank situation. We're not far off. We're not far off. I tell you what we need to do. Let's reserve this. This is a cheeky trick. Okay, reserve the first slot for planks, for reinforced planks, that is. And then reserve the latter slots for non-reinforced planks, which means that we're always going to be prioritizing. We're always going to be prioritizing transport of reinforced planks. Haha. How cool is that? Okay, similarly at this end, we want to make sure that we keep some space for reinforced planks. Excellent. Right, will that work? Will it? Who knows? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? That looks like a bunch of reinforced planks to me. That is excellent. That is excellent. That is working. That is working. That is working. That is fantastic. All right. That is really, really good. I'm delighted at how that worked out. Yeah, that's fantastic. That is really, really, really good. Okay, so that's plank transport and the corresponding reinforced plank transport sorted. Let's get 2 minecarts here. These are going to do... I mean, reinforced plank and planks sell in the same slot, I believe. It's wood construction, so we're really only going to be selling reinforced planks. So that's fine being set as just reinforced planks. That's fine being set as just reinforced planks. Brilliant. Rotate you. Rotate you. Yeah, we need to wait for the reinforced planks to arrive, but after that point, we should be able to let him go. I think. Unless we've had some sort of issue with the train. Where's the train gone? Yeah, okay, you've got reinforced planks here. Come down this way, fuel loader, train stop. Ah. That needs to be connected in there. Okay, so unload. Hold until empty. Do I want to hold until empty? I don't think I do. Why, you just breezed right through there. You breezed right through there, video game. I think that is a little bit of a problem. And yet, here we are. I would like to remove the logic links that I've accidentally ended up creating. Yeah, so why on earth? Why on earth have you decided not to operate on this occasion? I guess we'll figure it out in just a second. Are we unloading the planks? We're unloading the planks and then just reloading the planks. That's exceptional. Okay. We've got unload first, and then we've got load. Okay, unload needs to be pointing in. Is that the problem? Okay, apparently unload needs to be pointing in, and then load needs to be pointing out. I must say that's a little bit pernickety, but that's fine. Okay, excellent. Now we should have zero issues. I really, really like that. I really, really like how we can sort of play around with what resources are delivered based on where we decide to store them in the train station storage area. That's really, really cool. Right. I'm still a little bit worried that we're going to run out of iron. In fact, I'm very, very worried about running out of iron. That is a primary concern for me right now. Let me bump up the number of people that we have working in the forges to 2. See if that makes any difference. I don't think that we're really concerned with running out of iron ore, but running out of iron is another story altogether. Cool. All right. So now we're going to be able to stockpile reinforced planks. Now, this does create some problems in and of itself. We are using 2 belts to transport 1 belt worth of resources, and I didn't really consider that, but I did sort of consider it in terms of we're probably going to want to get an additional, want to get an additional belt coming from the train station. Yeah, so let's do that right now, in fact. Grabber. Yeah, and we're going to grab just the reinforced planks, actually. Cool. Again, you know, with all of this, it's like, if we get our foundations correct, if we get the system in place, if we get a system in place that will just work, we will be fine. We will be fine. Right. I'm going to make this a slightly more direct route, hoping that this doesn't interfere with the shipping route. I don't think it will, but you never know. Either way, that should now give us a much more sturdy supply. Cool. Right, that's looking good. That's looking very, very good. And as soon as we start to get these planks sold, we will be completely sorted. The next stage is upgrading some of these belts to metal belts. That would be kind of cool. Speaking of metal belts, can we get some metal belts over here? We've got 160 metal belts. What the heck happened to that? Right. I am satisfied with that. Cool. Alright, we're making ointment, but we're not making ointment quite fast enough because of our red coin shortage. That's okay. That's totally fine. We're actually about to sort that out. Well, about now, actually. I was just waiting to backlog a little bit of reinforced plankage. But it looks like we're getting there. You know what? I'm going to future-proof this. Only reinforced planks. Darn it, I missed. Just one. We were one away from perfection there. Right. So, 3 belts going into the barn. That is overkill to the nth degree, but that is fine. We'll tolerate it for now. Right. So, go. Excellent. Looking good. And so these reinforced planks should go in there like so. We need to make sure that this is kept for reinforced planks. Wonderful. No. Okay. I was under the impression that you would just head up here. Yeah. Okay, well that does represent somewhat of a problem. Right, can I do an inventory sensor? Let's get advanced logistics set up as quickly as we possibly can. Because if I'm able to get an inventory sensor, then that may just sort out my conundrum. Yeah, but that's not good. That's not good. If that's the case. I mean, it works over here. Medicinal wraps. Yeah, medicinal wraps just goes straight. I guess it must just be because it's a turn. Like, they will just continue to go straight unless they're stopped from going down a specific route. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, actually, because I cannot use filters to filter more than one item. Yeah, I don't think it's possible with just the system that I've got in place at this moment in time. I mean, the alternative solution is just running. Yeah, the alternative solution is just running a bespoke route. There we go. Let me just redo this real quick. This is not a good long-term solution, but it will be a great short-term solution. Cool. And then where's our renegade planks? Excellent. Right, so they're on their own independent route now. Which is going to work flawlessly, as you can see. No, that was even worse. Excellent, that's where I wanted you to go. Doesn't actually need to be blocked now. Cool. Okay, and you turn around. Now we're sorted. Excellent, let's start selling planks in serious quantity. I think two of these mine carts is fine enough for now. I don't like the number of tracks that we've got, but you know what? That's gonna have to be the way until we get some more advanced stuff set up. Yeah, new structure, toggle, agent trigger, bool function. Holy cow, this is a lot of stuff. I mean, look, I am specifically interested in the inventory sensor. So if I put the inventory sensor over here, item filter. Okay, look, you know what? This is gonna be something that we faff around with next time. This is a fine enough solution for now. It's gonna give us our red coins, which is exactly what we want. We're actually fine for every single variety of coins at this moment in time, which is good, actually. Very, very good. This setup is working very, very nicely indeed. I did talk about how I wanted to get some more foodstuffs set up. Cooked beef and cooked chicken both are appetizing potential options, I would say. Appetizing potential options. We also need to start thinking about mana crystals. Mana crystals are pretty important, actually, for the upgrades going forward, and also it's just like a key, like, late game resource, so it would be really, really good to get that set up as well. Look at this. Red coins immediately coming back into the fore. Huge number of red coins there. What's slowing down production of warm coats? It's beef. And that's because we don't have enough... We don't have enough animal feed. Okay, you know what? I can sort this out. Roughly sort this out anyway. Right, let's get one of those belts upgraded. See if we can get the second belt upgraded too. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, that is looking very, very good. And that should hopefully get us across the line in terms of beef production. It's going to consume a heck of a lot more bags of grain, but that's fine. Don't need to worry about that. Do not need to worry about that at all. Let's get this pasture upgraded. Let's get it upgraded again. Also, we've now run out of iron, which strikes me as a pretty big problem. We're literally not stockpiling any iron. What the heck? Where's our coal? Oh, yes. We seem to have run out of the stuff. Now that's a pretty big issue. Okay, thankfully, that is going to mean that we end up... Let me just redo that. No nearby minerals? I sincerely beg to differ. There we go. Okay, so that's going to sort out the problem for a little while. There's another coal deposit over here. I did just buy extra land, which is not ideal. Firestone, anything interesting? Edge of the world, which is interesting enough, because that will allow us to... ship resources around the edge of the world, perhaps, once we unlock more edge tiles. So that's cool. Loads and loads of iron ore deposits over here. I mean, deep mining. Is that a thing that we can do? Underground resources are replenished 500% faster when they're mined. I mean, I can place down coal, I think. Prospect for coal deposit. I require ore processing, the ore processing research. Speaking of research, is there anything that we want to get set up now? Sure. Let's do jewelry. There's no reason not to. We got plenty of research books, plenty of books with which to research. So we can get that set up. Excellent. Coal is slowly but surely coming back. It's recovering. Coal is recovering. And we've already depleted our vast reserves of reinforced planks. But actually, that's totally fine. Cool. I mean, look, I'm very, very happy with how this little area is looking. This base is looking... This is looking fantastic. I keep calling it a base just because that is a generic term for an area. But it's actually a town. It's a proper little bustling town, which is phenomenal, actually. Really, really, really looking good. We're making money. We're unloading all of our stuff from the general store, which is great. Okay. Should we sort out food production? Should we sort out food production a little bit more? Well, I tell you what, we do need some more eggs. I've upgraded this farm already, but you know what? I'm going to crack 5 workers in there. And then we're going to stick a bit of belt in there just to make sure that we have 100% egg production speed over here. Maybe we can just crank down the number of people that we have working here. Right, and then get this upgraded too. Wonderful. All right. That is egg-tacular. Oh boy. Okay, gold ingot and polished stone unlocked. Brilliant. I don't think we unlocked any additional research options. So we're actually going to have to unlock mana purification, which takes us neatly, actually, into endgame territory. Done loads of research over the course of this episode already, which is kind of nice. Also, I shouldn't belittle my own accomplishments. We are in a really, really good place at this moment in time. 194 happiness. 194 happiness. That equates to 100% production boost. That is substantial. That is notable. That is very, very good. Okay, so eggs should eventually give us a little bit more of a consistent supply, which is great. Very, very happy with that. Let me go into paths and get a metal conveyor belt sorted out over here. So that should speed things up just a little bit. I do worry about this. I do worry about this setup. So I think what I want to try and do with the apocryphy The apocryphy actually looks very, very decent at this moment in time. I kind of don't want to mess with it too much. But you know what? I'm going to, at the risk of causing untold damage. Because this is the system that I'm going to be moving towards very, very soon indeed. I say very, very soon indeed. It's what we're going to be doing right now, in fact. Okay, the apocryphy is now no longer connected. Or actually, is it? Actually, it still counts as being connected, which is both great and surprising. Anyway, let's move you. Move you around there. Move you around there. Spectacular. Entirely wrong place. Right, and this conveyor belt moved in there. Right, so I think that you can start to see where I'm going with this. Okay, all of those belts were placed in the wrong direction. The video game doesn't like when you move belts. That is something that I've learned. Okay, and then we remove this bit of track over here, and that sort of cleans up the entire process. Now, that gives us slots for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different categories of resources. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's actually 10 categories of resources that we're going to need to supply if we want to have a perfect setup. I think that is totally doable. Eggs. We've got plenty of eggs, and yet we're not supplying it. This is exactly why I wanted to test out the system with the apocryphy, by the way. Cannot afford. Oh my goodness, we need more iron. Are we still not getting enough iron through here? We're still not getting enough iron through here. That's dreadful. How did I make supply pickaxes? I am asking, because this is going to become a problem for us. Supply pickaxes. Oh yeah, they were made in machine shops, I recall checking. No, okay, apparently I'm just an idiot. Apparently I'm just an idiot. Where are they made? They are made in the workshop. Okay, I'm a double idiot. I'm a triple idiot. Okay. Wood axes, pickaxes. To be honest, making supply pickaxes over here somewhere is not an obscenely bad idea. Also, what the heck is going on? Magic Forge and a Void Obelisk. This Void Obelisk, by the way, is super, super good. It used to be the case that you'd get that super early, but now it looks like a late game item. That's totally fine. Cool. Okay, we have cleared a blockage on the belt, which is fine. Our iron area is just not giving us enough iron. It's just not giving us enough iron. That is a problem. Okay, but prospecting for gold, or prospecting for indeed anything, mana power. What do we need? What do we need? We need to up the base level. Okay. Or prospecting. That's what we need. We also need purple coins as well, which means that we're going to need to move into the world of mana and mana excavation. Excavation, mana processing. Mana processing is probably a better way of putting it. Probably a better way of putting it. Anyway, but this is looking good. We're fine on all counts of coins, I think. Our blue coin numbers did take a little bit of a beating, mostly because the research was done with blue coins, so that's fine. Anyway, what do we need in order to upgrade the base to level 7? We need mana crystals. Mana crystals are made in the Magic Forge, which is terrifying. A terrifying prospect is moving into the world of magic. Although I must say, this game gets really, really special when you move into the world of magic. It really is fantastic. Right, what do I need for a magic workshop? Magic Forge, whatever. Let's plonk this down over here, have a little look-see. Right, so it's actually fairly easy to make mana crystals. It's 2 mana shards, and for fuel, mana bricks are to be sellable at the general store, and that will actually start generating us purple coins, so maybe that's something that we want to beeline for. Mana bricks take stone bricks, mana crystals, which are also made over here. Okay, do we have an area nearby that can give us mana shards? There's this area over here, which is pretty close. This area looks perfect. Look at this area. This is lovely. It's flat. It's wonderful. It means that we don't need to terrain modify too much. Yeah, I think that's what we're after. I think that is exactly what we're after. Okay. I don't think anything else needs to really be tweaked at this moment in time. We're fine on everything, really. The one thing that does irritate me just a little bit is that we're close to getting 100% production of warm coats, which is nice. It's good. It's very, very good, in fact. But we're a little bit short. We're a little bit short. We could do a little bit better if perhaps we were to increase the number of employees that we had in the workshop that was making cloaks. Alternatively, adding a steam booster. You know what? Let's do that. Let's add a steam booster. Now, we don't have a steam boosting setup at this moment in time, but that gives us a great opportunity to talk about the steam generator. And I believe that the steam generator setup has been changed since the last time that I've faffed around with it. We need to make steam pipes. Let's flip and make steam pipes. We're gonna do magic in just a second. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna put the magic forge over here. Potatoes next to the potatoes. Wonderful. It's a good reminder. The packager is not going to do anything for now. We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to move anything in large enough quantities that it's worth packaging anything at this moment in time. That may come in the future, but for now, it's fine. Okay. The steam generator needs a pipe outlet, and we need to manufacture a pipe, and pipes are definitely manufactured in the machine shop. Am I right? I'm totally right. Okay, so it's time to increase our demand on iron. And the real question is, where are we going to put that? Where are we going to do that from? I feel like over here is probably a decent enough place to do it. I'm just gonna have one singular building that's working on steam pipes. The reason why is, I mean, I don't really think that we're gonna need that many steam pipes, but I may be proved wrong. Well, actually, that's not really the phrasing that I want to deploy there. Let me repeat that. I think we're going to need a lot of steam pipes. I think, however, that we're going to be able to produce enough at one machine shop, and we're going to use them infrequently enough that one machine shop will be totally adequate for our needs to supply all of our steam pipes. Does that work a little bit better? I think that works a little bit better. Right, now, the real question. Will this work? Please work. I was way to say it works like a charm, but it absolutely did not work anything close to what a charm would work like. I don't know what working like a charm actually translates to in terms of meaningful productivity or anything like that, but I mean, look, it didn't work. It didn't work. I think we need to get it lower. How low can you go? About that low, probably, or thereabouts. I mean, this is going to be bit of a disaster. Or is it? Or is it? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, ditch that. Instead, replace it with a scaffold block. Cool. Okay, that will definitely work. Mark my words. It is a janky, janky, janky journey. But that's okay. You know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about the janky journey. Either way, it's going to take a little while before we ramp up. Ah, look, there we go. The iron is going in. Excellent. It's going to take a little while before we're able to ramp up our pipe production, but that's not half bad. That's pretty good, actually. Right, now suddenly we are out of iron. We need 2 iron ore in order to make what we need. Tell you what, why don't I see if I can grab a little bit of this wonderful metal conveyor belt, and I'll see if we can try and upgrade our supply here. Excellent. So that should make a bit of difference, actually. There we go. Cool. All right, let's increase occupied. This is occupied. Yeah, but it's... Oh, it's occupied with chutes. Okay. Well, that's fine. I think chutes are slightly better at transporting iron anyway. I think they transport it slightly faster. Okay, so that should equate to a slightly increased amount of production. Honestly, we've crested 200 happiness. 200 happiness, for goodness sake. That's very, very good. Very, very good, in fact. Very, very good. I tell you what, I'm going to do something that's a little bit cheaty here. To ensure that we always have a little supply of iron, I'm actually going to divert however much, 1/7 of our iron supply. So each and every one of these grabbers, I believe, outputs iron at a consistent pace. Therefore, if I siphon off a little bit of iron, then we can manage to save up a little bit of iron on the side here. It's not going to be much, but it's going to be enough to, you know, build buildings that require iron and stuff, etc. So that's fine. Cool. You know what else I can do? Just whilst I recall, I do have a barn over here which has got like 200 nails in. We've got an area over here that has got a couple of nails on the output. Why don't I transfer all of these nails across? It's free. Okay, we're starting to move back planks, presumably because we are not producing enough. We're not producing enough reinforced planks, but that's okay. If we move planks backwards and forwards, that's totally fine. Like, that is something that we can readily deal with. Yeah, that's absolutely a-okay. Right. Are we sold that we are selling planks like hotcakes. Selling planks like hotcakes. It's brilliant. It is brilliant. And in fact, we've got a lot of red coins to prove it. Nails? Do I want to sell nails? I don't really want to sell nails, to be honest. Shirts as well. Shirts, we could maybe think about selling shirts just at this moment in time, because we've already got shirt production. You know what? What the heck? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We're going to be adding a steam boost over here anyway. Where the heck are you going? Okay, I'm going to let you drop off your stuff, and then I'm going to delete you, because frankly, we do not need an additional worker on that. What are you doing? You're just chilling out doing nothing. Okay, you're going to get destroyed. Don't know what you're doing either. You're going to get destroyed. Wonderful. How's our base looking in terms of storage? Not bad. Not bad at all. Right. Let's get a crate. We rarely use crates, but they're a useful building. They're a useful building. Gonna get a crate over here. Gonna get a grabber over there. And we're gonna get a... Not a workshop. Not a workshop. Little simple bit of belt. Right. And so we're going to output our shirts into this crate over here. And we are also going to set up a delivery system to move shirts over here. Cool. Now, we have got a couple of carts. So this wagon moves at the moment. Delivers warm coats. I think we probably just want to get ourselves another wagon which delivers shirts. But I doubt that we're going to have a shirt in stock at this moment in time. So we're going to wait until we have a shirt in stock. Then we're going to move that over to the store via this wagon thing. Cool. All right. Speaking of wagons, this area is used a lot and yet is not paved. Let's rectify that immediately. Very nice indeed. Okay, all three of these silos contain 100% of reinforced planks. That's kind of embarrassing, but it's fine, I guess. We can live with that. Okay, so that should just supply another category. Yeah, the fabric category with a satisfied resource. So that's great. Leather as well, shoes. I don't think I'm really overly bothered about any of this stuff at the moment. The warm coat and the reinforced planks really are making a huge amount of difference in happiness and cash for us. So that's really, really good. We still have a leather deficit over here, which is very, very poor. We actually require a lot more water than we are getting. Do I really need to get a fourth well? Really? Okay, get another well over there. See if that makes any difference. Yeah, we may be able to supply water via pipe. That may be something that we want to do. Alternatively, we should maybe just consider getting a dedicated leather supply route and a dedicated cotton supply route, or dedicated wool supply route. Sorry. Either way, it's probably not sustainable to just have it coming out from one single farm, as we seem to be having consistent issues with that. Cool. All right, so whilst I've been blethering away in the background here, how's our pipe production looking? It's looking real good, actually. It's looking really, really good. Okay, so let's go into pipe laying mode. Let's see what the heck we've got going on over here. So the first thing that we need to determine is where the heck is our steam generator gonna come from? Like, we've got the pipes. We know how to do that. We're gonna deal with that in just a second. But where are we going to generate steam? Water is relatively easy to come by. Very, very easy to come by, in fact. Fuel is slightly more challenging to come by, given that it is a non-renewable resource. Oh, man, this is a problem. Okay, I'm going to purchase this area. No coal. Purchase this area. No coal nearby. Okay, that's a big old pain in the backside. Right, time to move this around a little bit. Right, flatten this area out and move this around. Excellent. The grabber can be moved, even though it's not really necessary. And then let's just drag a huge amount of new belt out. It's not perfect, but it is fine enough. Right, let's see if we can try and get close to full production. Yeah, is 2 workers enough? I think 2 workers is probably honestly overkill. Keep it on 1 worker. Keep it on 1 worker. Okay, that's a full belt. That's a full belt of coal. We've ended up buying a couple of additional areas. Each area that we buy becomes progressively more expensive to buy the subsequent area. So we've got to keep that in mind. You know, we may need to expand at some point. Like, for example, right now, I'm heavily considering moving the steam generation somewhere that's sort of out of the picture. Maybe this area, actually. Iron ore. That's iron ore, though. I don't want iron ore. I'd love coal ore. Coal ore is what I'm after. Like, a big deposit of coal ore would be fantastic. It looks like this might be the start of a coal ore deposit. Could we make Steam Island? Sugar Island, unfortunately. Although that is an Earth Temple. That is a good discovery there. You know what? Let's give this a shot. Let's give this a shot. It's not an overly complex setup that we need to create over here. Right. So needs a pipe outlet. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, video game. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Right. Turns out 1 worker was too few. Right. Copy this mine. Copy this mine. That over there. No recipe assigned. Don't even worry about it. Coal is what you're after. And that is that. Excellent. So, water should hopefully be done with a well. Although, apparently this doesn't count as linked to water. Interesting. Alright, no matter. Doesn't need to necessarily be linked to water. And that should give us a plentiful amount of steam. Will it be enough steam? I think it will, at least for the short term anyway. We can always sort of double up on the well front. The coal is going to be totally fine. What I would say is that maybe it would be a decent idea to at least buffer slightly. Hence why a crate would be useful. Okay, copy the crate from over here. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so we should be able to buffer that, and that'll just store like 20 units, 25 units, something around that. And that'll keep us happy for now. Right, let's see if this works. So, we're gonna link up. Or we're gonna try to link up anyway, the buildings over here. Now, this is kind of what I worried about. Can I just blast right through that building? I think I totally can. Excellent, I can. Wonderful. Look at this. So, this is steam. Now, steam, I suspect, is going to just continue to flow around these pipes. Maybe it'll dissipate if it gets too far away from the source, but it doesn't look like it will, at least for now, which is great. Okay, so we want to link up this workshop over here, and indeed this workshop over here. And in fact, all of these three workshops could do with a good little boost. Speaking of a good little boost, let's boost up the amount of cotton that we are supplying. This is cotton, yes. I get very confused between wool and cotton, as you can probably tell. It is rather a confusing situation. Right, let's add a steam booster to each and every one of these workshops, and as soon as we've got the appropriate amount of pipe, we will get right on in there and sort that out. We've almost dealt with... Yeah, close that storage off for now. Iron plate is backlogged to the tune of about 150 resources, or it will be backlogged to the tune of 150 resources very soon. How the heck do I get magma? Magma is something that I really want to sort out. That would be a much better use of fuel, as opposed to this coal situation, which is, I mean, it leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest. We're definitely prioritizing nail production, which I don't necessarily have an issue with. Delete that. Delete that. Now that we've moved all of the nails out of there. Yeah, you know, so it's not necessarily a super pressing issue. But I am a little bit worried about it. A little tiny bit worried about it. We're gonna need to do something about it. We're gonna need to sort it out. And there's no point in doubling up belts over here, because we've only got one belt that runs out of the barn. If I was to double up the belts into the barn, I could add an additional, perhaps like contacting coal supply belt right in the center here to split the system in two. I tell you what, adding a steam booster to these forges would perhaps not be the craziest idea in the world. Let's add a steam boost to the forges. I mean, it doesn't solve the underlying supply issues, but it might go some of the way to sorting things out. Let's bump these up to 5 employees in each forge. Yeah, and as you can see, right there, we end up just completely obliterating the coal supply that we do have. Which makes me think that magma is what we're gonna go for. I mean, we're already utilizing coal, which is the second best fuel source. The only place we can go from here is magma. Also, happiness has reached a new high. Untold heights of happiness. It really is fantastic. It really is fantastic. So, we should be supplying eggs a little bit more fully now. Not really. But we are fulfilling fruit, vegetables, grains, almost eggs. We're close. We're very close. I'm doing okay for eggs. Doing okay for fish as well. Looks like the shipping routes are working as they should, which is great. The apocryphy probably is doing a lot less good. Yeah, the amount of blue coins that we've got may be fine, but the amount of happiness that we're deriving from apocryphy related bits and bobs is less than ideal. Only 19 fish sauce. Ah, straight up we've got a massive issue with the number of fish that we're collecting. Okay, well, you know what? This gives me a great opportunity to build a fishery, because I don't think I've ever built a fishery before. I can build it right here, right? Sure, let's build a flippin' fishery right here. Excellent. Okay, so that's That's given us an unlimited supply of fish, I hope. Right, scaffold ramp. That was a little bit too high, but that's okay. Okay, so that we don't interfere with the existing fishing route, let's see if that works. Looks good to me, to be honest. Looks very, very good to me. Do these fishing boats need to be in operation? Oops, no. Drop the fish off. And then go over there. Right, so the fish sources look like they have been depleted. And therefore, that one in the middle has started to replenish. It looks like they're going to stick around forever. As long as I don't overfarm them, which is the main thing, really. Either way, we only need to supply enough fish to make sure that everyone is happy. I.e., these two kitchens are fully utilized. Because fish, it's actually quite an important piece of the puzzle for us. Supplies all of the apocryphy related, areas with antidote or fish oil or whatever the heck it's called. What is it? Fish oil? That is exactly what it's called. Potato. Great. Excellent. Okay, have I chattered away enough to fix the steam generator? It's a great question. I might have. All right. The layout is funky, but that's okay. Let's do this. Okay. Now, a steam. This is what I need. This is what I need. I need a steam connector. Okay. So now, if I'm not mistaken, all of these workshops should be getting a 50% production boost, which is actually very insane when you think about it. Very, very, very insane. Steam boost. Yep. That looks good. That looks really, really, really good. So that's just going to increase our output ever so slightly, which should make all the difference, actually. We have got a tremendous amount of boosting going on right now. I do worry that we are not having any success in the steam generation business. Is that because I haven't put a grabber here? That is indeed because I haven't put a grabber here. That's fine. That'll get us back on the go. Right, now, the amount of steam that we've got being produced at this moment in time should be okay. It should be absolutely adequate for now. It's going to prioritize boosting this workshop here, which I'm actually okay with. Excellent. Yeah, that looks really, really positive. And we're getting a heck of a lot of cloth coming out of this workshop, which is very, very good indeed. Is it enough? It's still not enough. That's the crazy thing, is that it's actually still not enough. Actually, it's still not enough. Okay, let me see if I can rectify this. Let's remove all of these herbs over here. There we go. Cool. Drag a workshop down there. This may be completely uncalled for. I don't actually know. But it would be good to see if it's possible to do. Right. And then grab that. Put that over there. Excellent. So that's just going to boost. This probably is not a great... setup. Excellent. Okay. Try that. That's much, much better. Much happier with that. Cool. Add a steam booster over here as well, because what the heck? I mean, the belt, or the steam pipe literally runs right through here. Cool. Very, very cool indeed. Okay. So, the next question on my mind is, do we have enough? Do we have enough cotton to supply this entire area? I don't think we do. I do not think we do. The reason that I don't think we do is because we're drawing 2 belts worth from one single belt over here. So what we need to do actually is get this changed around a little bit. Wonderful. Very cool. And up there, right across there like so, and that is that. Then we get one belt, which basically just goes straight. And that gets ditched. And then that is a very short-term solution to a problem which needs a longer-term solution. Because we have 2 metal belts outputting here. We only have 1 metal belt worth of cotton inputting. Which is a disaster waiting to happen, really. It kind of is. But it does sort of demonstrate a proof of concept, which I think is kind of important. Are we getting enough steam? I don't think we're getting enough steam. Crazily enough. And the reason that we're not getting enough steam is we're not getting enough water. Hold up. If I do this, if I, some wooden arches, which are OP, apparently, may only be placed on terrain. I mean, that seems like a bit of a swizz, to be honest, but that's okay. We can fix that right up. We just create the terrain. It's literally that simple. Your move, video game. Okay, scaffold block over there. Terrain is too steep. I feel like it shouldn't be. Yeah, try that. There we go. That looks much better. Can't build on uneven terrain. That is somewhat of a problem. Must say that is somewhat of a problem. Right. Just trying to remove all of this junk from the area so that I can terrain block down over here, which creates a much better way of doing business from what I can see. There we go. That looks much better. Okay. That's loads and loads and loads of water there. Is it going to be enough? Probably not, which is why I need to get some metal conveyor belts. It's a good thing that I started metal conveyor belt construction when I did, because things are looking pretty consistent, actually, which is great. Right. Wonderful. So that's going to get us more steam than ever. Is that going to be enough steam? I mean, we'll see if there's enough steam, because it'll be starting to backlog in places, which is kind of what we're after, really. It does look a lot more consistent. Of course, from here, we can boost the number of workers that we have working in the steam generator. That looks very, very consistent, in fact. Very, very consistent. Okay, cool. Now that's the steam generation side of things figured out, I guess. It's still not perfect, though. It's still not perfect. I almost feel like, yeah, we just need to work on our farms. We need to work on our farms. That's kind of important. The good news is, though, is that we are now supplying way more resources via the general store than we've ever been doing before. In fact, 25 happiness is being generated from the sale of shirts, which was previously not the case. Same with warm coats, actually. Warm coat production has skyrocketed. It's excellent, in fact. Cloaks are a bit more complicated. I say they're a bit more complicated. It just will require a brand new setup, and this area is already getting a little bit congested. Well, congested by my standards. I don't think it's truly congested, but that's okay. The train, chugga 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 choo choo, is actually looking, fine as anything. And I must say, I'm delighted at how that's worked out. We've got a huge amount of reinforced planks, very, very close to where they need to be delivered. The apocryphy is looking good. You know, not the amount of goods that the apocryphy is actually selling. That is looking less than ideal, to be honest. We're not really doing a tremendous job over here with supplying the apocryphy with all of the resources that it needs to survive and thrive. But I will say, you know, steam is looking good. The train is looking good. I'm happy. I'm very, very happy with the progress that we've made over the course of this episode. Ladies and gents, Factory Town enthusiasts, thank you as ever. to the wonderful Orbited Potato Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Orbited Potato. Also thanks to Banana Nana and C Senpai for being the two $25 plus tier patrons. Thank you very, very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye.